Henry! Just the man I want to see. I need help with something.
What's the problem, sir?
The Archbishop's vicar has come to Uzhitz. I don't know why exactly, but the rumor is that he's on the hunt for heretics.
How are you, Henry?
Which frankly never meant any good. Especially for me.
I'm sorry, but I'm not really up on religious ranks, sir. What does a vicar do, exactly?
You don't have to apologize. It's the devil's own work to make sense of their twisted hierarchy. The vicar is short for vicarious, meaning in place of. He has full power to act on his superior's behalf.
I see.
In this case, sadly, the superior in question is that nincompoop, Archbishop Zbigniew Hare of Hassenburg.
What should I do about him, then?
Firstly, find out why he's really here. He might truly be on the hunt for heretics, which wouldn't be good news. Or it's equally possible he's here to size up my estate, which would be even worse.
I understand. And then what?
The best thing for me and all concerned would be for him to pack his bags and go back to Prague.
And how can I, encourage him to do that? I can't just kick him out, can I?
No, of course not. But if you can make him believe there's nothing to find here, he'll be off in no time. So tell him I've sent you to assist him.
I understand. And my task is to assist him in finding nothing.
Indeed.
And what if there really are heretics?
My boy. Have you ever seen a heretic?
No.
There, you see. I haven't either. Most of the time the prelates just invent them to scare folk with. So don't put much faith in their existence.
But
what if there really are some? Then deal with them. But make sure that interfering bastard gets out of here.
are you at odds with the Archbishop in some way, sir?
No, I've never even seen him. But that's no guarantee he doesn't have his eye on my estate.
But how could he get his hands on it?
He's an archbishop. They have long fingers, my boy. And now, without the king around, it's the perfect time to amass a nice little hoard. Believe me, I know. They say in Prague that he's a complete dolt. But I rather doubt that.
Why?
All the Hare clan are as shrewd as they come. I know that better than most.
Uh-huh. Very well. I'll get going straight away.
Good luck, lad. And be careful. Clergymen are wily weasels. So take care.
I'll be careful. Don't worry, Sir Hanush.
How come Herman's stomping around like an angry bull?
God save you.
You went to Skalitz on your own, didn't you? That took guts.
Not really. It took me a while before I could work up the courage.
That was sensible of you. I went back straight away, and I almost got killed.
I know. I heard. That's part of the reason I was so nervous.
And how did it go? Did you do everything you wanted?
There wasn't anything to do. Someone already did it before me. I wasn't even able to catch that thieving bastard.
What thief?
Some shady-looking character. Whole face smeared with soot. He shot out of the basement as soon as I went by and ran away with his loot. I got such a scare. I didn't think about running after him, and he stole absolutely everything, even our new kettle.
What did he look like?
I didn't get a good look at him. He was covered in soot, and his sack of loot was so full, he had the kettle tied to it on the outside. It was gleaming.
A sooty man, a big sack and a new kettle. Of course he could clean himself up and throw away the sack. Maybe it was a devil. Or a charcoal burner.
You know, it really could have been a charcoal burner. That sack definitely looked like a charcoal burner's sack, and there are a lot of those around Rovna, so he wouldn't have far to go.
What was it he took from your place?
I don't know. My father told me never to talk about it.
What harm is there in telling me now? I can't steal it. Someone got there before me.
That's true. My father hid some money and valuables there. There was a jeweled cross he wanted to give Bianca as a dowry.
What did the cross look like?
Why do you ask?
Well, if I saw it somewhere,
What? You want to look for it?
well, like I said, if I see it or hear something about it, we'll see.
That would be so kind. I've nothing left. If I had that cross, at least I'd have something to remember them all by. The cross itself was silver, and it had a small red ruby in the middle, like a heart, and it was hanging on a red string.
And did you tell the catchpoles about it?
I did. Alex asked me what happened and then sent me straight to them.
And what happened?
They said they were sorry, but they don't have anyone who could search all the houses looking for a kettle. So they told me if I don't know who it was, then there's nothing they can do.
For the love of God, I've come.
I am at your service, Sir Knight.
I found Adam and asked him about his stolen stuff.
And did you find out anything useful?
You could say that. It was a man covered in soot who stole a new kettle and a silver cross.
No one tried to sell me a kettle, but that cross had a red stone and string, right?
How did you know? Don't tell me you're a fortune teller.
Of course not. Someone offered to sell it to me, but the whole thing seemed shady, so I told him I didn't want it.
And do you have any idea who it was?
I don't know his name, just said he's a charcoal burner. He's from Rovna, and only shows up here occasionally.
So a complete stranger just happens to wander in here and offers to sell you a stolen cross? Come on. You definitely know who it was.
Watch how you speak to me, boy. I haven't seen you do anything yet, so you keep your comments to yourself. If it weren't for those two cretins, I wouldn't even talk to you.
I didn't mean it like that. I just meant that you know your way around, and you usually know who's who.
Stop talking right now.
So what did he say?
Nothing. He wanted something to eat and drink, and then left.
And that's it?
Yes. If he cursed me, then he did it under his breath.
All right, I'll look into it. Have you got a bed for the night?
Certainly. For how long?
Just the one night?
Sure, but let's see your coin first. These are harsh times.
Here you go.
You'll like it here. Like sleeping on a cloud it is.
My respects to you.
Have you been to Skalitz lately?
Skalitz? I thought that place burned down to the ground. What would I be doing there?
Someone there saw a charcoal burner rooting through the burned-out buildings.
Well, if you know who it was, then why'd you come to me?
I don't know who it was, just that it was a charcoal burner.
And how do you know that? Because he was grubby from ash in the middle of a town full of ash?
No, because he had a charcoal burner's sack.
And that's your evidence? Anyone can get that. There's plenty lying around a forge, and there's a lot of people wandering around there.
Trying to throw the blame on someone else, are you? Forget it. You're gonna get what's coming to you, you thieving bastard.
No, I don't know who did it, but it wasn't me. I'm innocent, I swear.
If you only stop lying. I can see it in your eyes. You did something, and I'll get it out of you.
Please, no, I didn't do anything. I just found it. It must have fallen from someone else's sack, but I wasn't in Scully's and I didn't loot anything.
A likely story. Though, if you had a sudden attack of conscience and gave it to me, I might just believe you didn't do anything wrong.
Here it is. Everything I have. Take it and leave me be. I didn't do anything wrong. What the hell are you doing?
I'm honoured that a knight such as you takes an interest in me.
Have you been to Skalitz lately?
What would I be doing there? Everything burnt down.
Someone saw a charcoal burner rooting around there.
And how does anyone know it was a charcoal burner? I'd like to know.
Well, they said he had a charcoal sack and...
Sacks aren't hard to come by. Especially around Skalitz. Anyone could have one.
including the guilty man.
Or maybe it wasn't me, and you're looking for someone else.
If you don't confess right now, you'll be eating ash too. They saw a man with this sack, and I don't have a problem beating it out of you.
Look, I really wasn't there. Even if you beat me, or let them take me away in chains, I'm still not the person you're looking for.
Fine then. But if anyone catches you trying to loot Skalitz...
They won't. I've never done it before, so I'm not going to start now.
God be with you.
Have you been to Skalitz lately?
Not since I ran away from there. Why do you ask?
Because someone saw you wandering around the houses there, poking around.
That's ridiculous. Like I said, I haven't been back since that horrible day.
If you don't tell me what I want to know, I'll make you regret it.
Jesus Christ, all right. I was there. But I came late. The good stuff had already been taken, and I didn't want to go poking around.
Carry on.
It was... Look, this is the rest of what I found. I don't want it. Just take it. Give it to the needy. Whatever you want.
How are you, Henry? Henry, I'm glad you came.
Be a bit more careful.
Good day, Henry.
What the hell?
I welcome you all to the Great Talmberg Horse Race, where the best steeds and riders in the land will compete to see who's fastest. Fate and fortune won't decide the winner here today. Horsemanship, knowing the lay of the land, and quick wits will bring victory. But I won't hold things up any longer. Competitors, prepare yourselves. Ready!
Where are you going?
Welcome back. You might not have won, but you didn't fare so poorly. That horse is a wonderful beast.
So you'll buy from Zora?
That horse did make an impression on me. Your horsemanship could use some work, but that's another matter. I believe I'll purchase half my horses from Neuhof and half from Ujitz. You can tell Zora my decision.
Thank you, my lord. Thank you. I'll pass your message on to her.
Henry, I'm glad you stopped by.
I'd like to order something here.
So, what are you interested in?
I'll certainly need a physician to treat my wounds. Then a hot bath and laundering my clothes.
That can be arranged, but you'll pay in advance.
Fine. Here it is.
I'm sure you'll be extremely satisfied.
I welcome you
Henry's
all
come
to
to
the
see you.
great Talmberg Horse. Fate and fortune won't decide the winner here today. Horsemanship, knowing the lay of the land, and quick wits will bring victory. But I won't hold things up any longer. Competitors, prepare yourselves. Ready, steady, go!
are you, Henry?
Down! Stay away from people if you can't ride a horse, you moron!
hope I can be of help to you, Matt.
It wasn't easy, but in the end I pulled it off.
So how did it go? Have you got anything, or not?
I found him in the end, but it wasn't easy.
I'm glad to hear that.
Me too. Otherwise my purse wouldn't be jangling so nicely.
Fine, fine. I just hope you know how you're gonna share those coins.
Let's have a word about the price.
Well, we can try it.
What do you say to this?
More! No deal.
God save you, good night. What can I do for you?
So, what are you scheming up this time?
Well, we've got this idea. You might have heard there's coin coming to the Talmberg quarry to pay the workers their overdue wages.
I haven't heard anything about it.
They owe them for a quarter of a year. There's a lot of quarrymen in that quarry.
But it's bound to be well guarded, isn't it?
Maybe not, if we time it right.
Bring me something to eat.
And why aren't we talking about it with Andrew?
Andrew hasn't got the balls for it. He sent us to hell.
Fucking idiot. Those people work for Sigismund?
Yeah, for Sigismund.
And are you quite sure?
No, actually, they're not Sigismund's people.
And you think it's all right? Is that what we are now? Common thieves?
What do you want me to tell you? Take a good fucking look at us. You're all right, but we're up to our necks in shit.
But a thing like this?
Do you think we're any better off now than we were in Sasau, on our last legs at the tavern?
Yes.
Then you're a fucking fool. Ever since Skelet, everything's been going to hell. Why should we have to pay the price for that? To hell with the fucking quarrymen!
I just need to find out something first.
All right, I suppose.
Aye, as usual.
You already talked to Matthew?
No. No, I haven't.
So go and see him. This might be our chance to earn some real money.
Matthew told me about his plan.
That bollocks with the quarry? What the hell is he thinking?
You didn't like the sound of it?
No, it's too big and too much in plain sight. If the slightest thing went wrong, it'd all be fucked. And me and you too, mind, if we had anything to do with it.
But it's the money owed to the quarrymen for a full quarter year's work. Isn't it worth it?
No, it ain't worth the risk. Why take that chance? For the love of God.
Matthew feels like he has no other way to make money.
It's not my fault Matthew's useless. That's his problem.
So what do you propose? Matthew and Fritz have made their minds up.
You need to tell the commander of the Talmberg garrison that a robbery's in the making. Have him send his best men. When those two fools see how many soldiers there are, with any luck, they'll give up on the idea.
But what if they still decide to go for it?
Eh? Well, then they'll be in for a very tough time of it.
You're my old mates. You're asking too much of me.
I know. But look at what they're trying to do, for Christ's sake. Those quarrymen are honest folk who never did nothing to no one.
Got it for you right here. Got it for you right here. Here, enjoy it.
Here's to a good harvest.
About that job. And why aren't we talking about it with Andrew?
Andrew hasn't got the balls for it. He sent us to hell.
He did? How come?
I don't know. He just said he won't do it.
Andrew's not interested. Is it that dangerous? Look, if I'm going to do this, I want to know everything.
It's close to Talmberg, so if we mess something up, we could have problems. But what a pile of silver.
I just need to find out something first.
All right, I suppose.
Andrew wants to betray you.
What?
He wanted me to go to Talmberg and tell Captain Robard about the robbery.
That horseman wants to get us killed? I'll cut him in two.
Hold your horses. That'll get you nowhere. Use your head, damn it.
That swine! That fucking swine!
What if we lay the blame on him?
What have you got in mind?
They have to carry the money in a sack, don't they? What if I took the empty sack and hid it in Andrew's tavern? And then, instead of snitching on you like he wants, I tell Captain Robard he was behind it.
Fuck hell! That's devious! That's ingenious! That bastard would end up hanging by his own rope.
Then it's a deal. Once we get the money, I'll hide the sack somewhere here in the inn. About that job. I'm in.
Wonderful. But before we get to work, we have to find out more. We are gonna go and take a sly look at that quarry. Meanwhile, you go to Talmberg and find out when they're bringing the coin. Try to find out who's gonna be guarding it. Even better, if you can make it so there's as few guards as possible, well, you know, I wouldn't be upset at all.
How am I actually supposed to do it?
Do what?
How am I supposed to find out when they're bringing the coin in?
You're pretty well known around these parts, aren't you? You'll find a way.
Wait. How am I supposed to handle it? You must be able to tell me something.
What do I know? Ask around. Someone from the garrison is sure to know.
You hinted there could be a way to make sure as few guards as possible get sent to escort the money.
Maybe. Ask Fritz about it. He's good at making trouble.
Couldn't we steal it right in Talmberg? Or somewhere along the way to the quarry?
If you want to get yourself killed, do it alone.
True. That wouldn't be a good idea. Do you know anything about the quarry?
A little bit. We'll check it out. We'll have to do it quickly. We'll make sure there aren't so many guards.
And can't we bribe them?
Maybe. But it might be a risk with some of them. They might blab.
Well, maybe we'll get lucky and they'll be dealing with other problems in the region. Agreed then. I'll get right to work on it.
Very well. We'll go and pay the quarry a visit. You'll find us there.
Pour me one.
I am at your service, Sir Knight.
So how do I make sure they cut down the number of guards when they transport the money?
Easy. Make a right ruckus.
A ruckus?
Ruckus? Hubbub. Bedlam. I mean, just give someone around Talmberg a punch in the mouth. Start a brawl. Or steal something valuable.
And that'll help.
Of course. The townsfolk will be furious. They'll start clamouring for more guards in the town. Take my word for it. 9 times out of 10, punching someone in the gob is the best solution.
Do you have any other ideas?
Well, most guards, especially the ones in charge, are lazy fuckers. If you could figure out a way to get rid of their horses, I'd bet at least a few of them won't go anywhere.
Thanks.
What a pleasure. I'm sure there's some other tricks you could try. Well, that's all I can think of.
Henry, I'm glad you came.
That race, it was quite something.
So the race is over? Tell me, please, how did it go?
It was very close.
Lord God in heaven, don't keep me in suspense.
Sir Divish decided that he'll buy half his horses from you and half from Uzhitz.
Oh, those are wonderful tidings. I was afraid I'd have to shut things down here. Thank you, lad. Oh, one more thing. If you ever need to buy a horse, come and see us. I'll give you a nice discount.
Hey! God's sake, what can I do for you?
I've got some goods here whose owners might miss them.
All right, let's see what we can do about that.
Let's have a word about the price.
All right, so.
What do you say to this?
A nice sum. Just lower your demands a little and we'll agree. Aye, that would do it.
where you're going.
I need your advice.
Did you find out what they did? And did you read the Black Chronicle?
Yes.
So tell me what you found out, and I'll see what I can come up with.
Just bear in mind, I can help you work it out, but you'll only find exactly what you need in the Ratai Black Chronicle. Every executioner has his own way of doing things, and this bastard might have different methods in mind.
Peter of Dorba has many murders on his soul, but he's still a nobleman. Peter of Dorba has many murders on his soul, but he's still a nobleman. His neck is going on the block.
That makes sense. His crimes are great, but he's still a nobleman, so he gets an honorable death.
George Weiss is a bloodthirsty bastard who left a trail of corpses behind him. He hasn't earned an honorable death. He's for a long drop on a short rope.
A murderer deserves nothing better. That makes sense.
Frost Herald is the worst of them all, sent by Satan himself. The things he's done would make a demon blanch. The executioner will take his time with that one. He'll be begging to die. If I read correctly, it'll start with ripping the flesh.
Aye, could be. He deserves nothing better.
So, have we got everything we need?
We've covered all the possibilities. There's nothing more we can think up.
So, what's the plan then?
An executioner's greatest boast is to behead with one blow. That's why an executioner's sword needs to be a splendid piece of craftsmanship and sharp as a razor.
I follow you, but how can I get to the sword?
It won't be easy. The executioner's sword is one of his most valuable instruments.
Couldn't it just be switched for a different one?
He'd notice straight away. It's different than a regular sword, heavier with a blunt point. The balance is different too.
I could take yours and...
He'd recognize that too. An executioner knows his sword like the back of his hand. He'd notice as soon as he picked it up.
So I'll have to steal it, dull the blade, and put it back before anyone notices?
Yes, that's probably the only way.
That'll be interesting. And how can I dull the sword? Should I hack at a stone wall?
I thought you were a blacksmith, son. It's enough to caulk up the honing. That will make much less noise.
That'll do me.
With ripping of the flesh, the bastard has to suffer, but survive as long as possible.
So, if Herald drops dead right at the start...
The executioner will look like a fool.
But how can I make sure it happens?
I don't know. It depends on the skill of the executioner. An experienced one starts in places where there's no threat of heavy bleeding. The sides, the chest.
And the Kuttenberg executioner is definitely experienced.
No doubt. They use a kind of special tongs, and in between the ripping, the convict's wounds are treated so he can take more.
Maybe the tongs could be spiked with something nasty.
And you'd know what to use?
I know a little, and I might be able to get something.
That would work. Good idea, Hal.
That'll do me. What about the hanging?
If the rope breaks when it's done, it's an unbelievable disgrace for the executioner. Folk see it as the will of God, and sometimes he even has to let the condemned man go.
What about switching it?
That could work. I've got an old rope here I don't use anymore. It looks fine, but it's run. It'll be perfect.
Great, I'll use that. That'll do me. Thanks.
God be with you, Henry.
I'm at your service, Sir Knight.
Let's have a word about the price.
Well, we can try it.
Since it's you.
That's not enough. Finally, a reasonable sum.